There's a version of you that doesn't wait, doesn't ask, doesn't hope. He takes, not because he's cruel, but because the world responds to the man who moves like he's inevitable. Tonight, we're summoning him. I'm gonna tell you right now, you guys, you better be ready. It's Thanksgiving, and you better not skip this fucking podcast. Let's start now. Listen to every fucking second. Niccolò will be proud.
You are listening to the Masculine Mindset Show, a podcast for men to develop a backbone, a masculine purpose, if you will, and get more physically attractive, and even become more mentally healthy. All you men listening, I turn nice introverts into fit, self-entitled savages, if you will. And you might even become a little cocky as a result of your G status. More importantly, you guys, I also show you how to flirt and date more women and seal the deal. Just look at the show notes. They are all on my blog articles. Let's get into the content.
The Prince's Whisper. Now, brothers, I need you to understand something before we start. This episode is going to be darker than my usual Masculine Mindset podcasts. Okay? Scroll through my podcast library. You'll see several different podcasts, health and fitness, dating, and whatnot. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little insight into what happened like about 2 months ago when I was just in the gym, and then I had that bar on my back about to do barbell squats, and the song came on. Yeah, Cradle of Filth, From Cradle to Enslave, right? But more importantly, I recalled Niccolò's shadow being with me that day. Oh yeah. I looked into the mirror and I saw my eyes. It was just red. I'm being serious, you guys. It looked red. Like I was ready to kill someone. Not in a literal sense. Don't misinterpret. I was ready to crush my own limits. To push myself. To push my entire body to the breaking fucking point. Where I'm gonna squat as much weight as I fucking can. Now, I'm gonna tell you all right now. The ceremony that you're about to hear is about shadow ethos. This isn't about killing you guys. It's about dropping the moral drag that keeps a man from claiming what's already aligned to him. It's about summoning the shadow ethos, the archetype, who moves without hesitation and without seeking permission from anyone, or even validation. I'm gonna let you all know now. The Prince's Whisper. I'll say this right now. Okay, this is the Prince's Whisper. He who controls appearances controls everything. Niccolò Machiavelli. Oh yeah, you guys. Let's keep moving forward. Now, you guys know that this podcast is dark as fuck. But to be clear, it's not meant to be evil. So don't misinterpret me. Some of you guys think that I'm trying to come across that way. No, not at all. Don't misinterpret. But I will say this right now, okay? The Prince, yes, Machiavelli the Prince. He definitely bent morals to get power. So, I'm going to tell you all right now. Listen to my podcast called Machiavelli Activation State Switch before you hear this one, okay? That's important because you need to know that, okay? You need to fucking know about that. So, find it. Go to my other podcast, Machiavelli Activation State Switch, okay? Anyhow, we get to what the shadow ethos actually means, okay? This is the next part, you guys. Most men hear the word shadow and immediately think darkness, evil, corruption, or some cheap Hollywood villain, right? It's not because society neutered the entire concept before they were ever old enough to understand what real power feels like. Shadow Ethos isn't evil, you guys. It isn't moral or immoral. It's pre-moral. The state before the world teaches you to doubt your own instincts. Shadow Ethos is the raw architecture of male will before conditioning. You've been conditioned, you guys, to basically follow the masses. I talk about the herd appeal, okay? I will briefly reference an important section in my hardcover book. This is why you don't follow your own lead. Read that, okay? An article that I wrote, you can find on my website, but also the article is also on my book too, okay? Amplifying Masculine Energy. This is why you don't follow your own lead. Go to that section. You are following the herd. The herd appeal, I would have to get to that in a different podcast, but the herd appeal, simply put, is really, a lot of people talk about this term called the Matrix. I hate that word. I really fucking hate that word. Check out my podcast called Low Status Beliefs That Repel Women, and you'll hear how much I fucking hate that word, because people use that as an excuse to not get better with girls. But anyways, all that aside, the herd appeal is a real thing. The Matrix is a made-up, man-made thing, okay? Now, anyways, Shadow Ethos, as I said, is the raw architecture of male will before conditioning. You are conditioned, you guys, to behave like a pushover. This ceremony will stop that. Not to mention, it'll push you to take courageous action. I talk about taking courageous action consistently, right? Now, Shadow Ethos equals your sovereign, unfiltered self, okay? Your sovereign core, unfiltered will. The version of you who doesn't soften his wants or dilute his direction. He wants, therefore he moves, okay? His missions matter to him. Check out the missions ranks mindset with dark affirmations, you guys. That's a good one. Anyways, there's no committee meeting. Alright? Say that one more time. No committee meeting, no self-negotiation, no let me think about it, as I say in my hardcover book too. Kill your inner bitch, right? It's pure internal yes or no. Cold focus, no warmth, no hype, no external motivation, okay? Cold focus is the clarity that cuts everything unnecessary out of the room. It's the predator's gaze, not aggressive, not loud, but absurdly certain. It's the masculine stillness women feel in their nervous system before they consciously register your presence. Hint, presence she doesn't mention. I'll get to that in a different podcast for Project X. My bad. Anyhow, predatory calm, alright? That's important too, you guys. Predatory calm. This is the opposite of frantic effort. That will give you the vibe of, I know how this ends. I'm not gonna rush it, right? This is the aura of inevitability. The thing that separates the man who tries from the man who claims. Predatory calm is what a lion looks like 5 minutes before he eats. Still, relaxed, borderline bored. But the whole environment bends around him, right? Dominance without violence. Do you hear me? Shadow Ethos is dominance without violence. It's not about harming anyone. No. As you heard on that story, I wanted to fucking kill someone. Well, guys, here's the thing. I train like a fucking psychopath. Check out my podcast called How to Train Like a Psychopath. Anyways. It's about stepping into the role you were already built to occupy. Violence is a primitive form of dominance. Shadow Ethos operates on a higher plane. Dominance of presence, dominance of direction, dominance of certainty, dominance of emotional gravity, dominance of frame even, you guys. Self-dominance. I talk about self-dominance in my very first dating ebook, Become the Owl, Woman Want. Anyways, your existence becomes the event. Your movement becomes the signal. People react before they rationalize why. Desire without apology. This one hits men hardest, okay? Because society taught them that wanting something deeply, unapologetically, without softening the edges is somehow dangerous. Shadow Ethos dissolves that lie. Desire is not a threat. Desire is a compass. When it's unfiltered, grounded, and cold, it becomes a source of gravity, the field that pulls opportunity, attraction, and outcomes toward you. Make sense? Good. Women especially feel this. A man with unapologetic desire becomes psychologically magnetic. Motion without hesitation. This is the trademark of the shadow ethos. No stutter, no flash of doubt, no micro falter in his nervous system. Shadow motion is fluid, clean, decisive. It's not reckless. No, it's efficient, okay? You move because you've already chosen, not because you're trying to convince yourself. No. And that is where 99% of men fail. Their hesitation bleeds into everything that they fucking do. Their posture, their body language, their voice, their flirtation, even when they try to challenge girls, you guys, they hesitate to fucking challenge them. But anyways, shadow ethos removes hesitation at the root. So let's keep going, you guys. Now you know what shadow ethos really means, right? The prince's whisper. He who controls appearances controls everything, right? Niccolò Machiavellian. Now, guys, you're gonna hear this right now, okay? The night the shadow ethos came online, there are nights that don't feel like memories. They feel like portals. This one started with a barbell in my hand, sweats burning on my skin. And my playlist, Adam's Killer Lifting playlist. Yes, you guys, several songs I'll list right now that are on that playlist. I Wish You Were Dead, Liquor Coil, From Cradle to Enslave, Cradle of Filth, Amphetamine Fix, right? Anyways, you know the one playlist you built that sets that feeling apart from you bargaining with God but smirking through it, right? The next song hit when I was lifting to Alpha Body Blueprint Leg Day. Yes, you guys, I follow my own workout program because I gotta practice what I preach. From Cradle to Enslave, Cradle of Filth. That opening scream didn't just hit my ears, you guys. It hit my fucking spine. It felt like someone grabbed the back of my consciousness and it snapped open like a coat. That is the killer frequency that I talk about, right? Yes, the killer frequency, you guys. I'll tell you guys a very interesting story. One day, I was driving to Giant Eagle, and I literally had the Prince come up in my antenna. It's like, okay. When I say antenna, I mean my higher awareness, my crown. And the minute the Prince came to my antenna, he guided me to listen to one of my earlier episodes called How to Control the Killer Inside Yourself. And when I listened to that podcast, you guys, I thought, interesting. Then this is what the Prince said to me. He said, that is power, Adam. Guys, don't believe me? I don't care. I believe that to be true. Okay? When you reach out to the Prince, you guys, believe me, listen to my Ask Women interview with Kristen Carney. I said I have brought the presence around me of the Prince. Anyways, that day, you guys, I believe the Prince spoke into my antenna and said, that podcast, I hear power in your voice. That's what the Prince said. So, I want to correct, really, I'm going to go back to what I was originally saying, right? That killer frequency, right? Right there. Listen to that podcast with a fair warning, because it's a very intense one. Anyways, pure inevitability. The man who asks disappeared, right? The man who takes stepped forward, okay? Say that one more time. You can really hear me out on that. The man who asks disappeared. The man who takes steps forward, right? Now we get to the Niccolò moment. Your mind didn't drift. It rotated. Guys, listen to me. I believe when you say someone's name out loud, you do give them an appearance in your life. So you can take my word for it or leave it, but I'm telling you from experience, that's what happened. Okay? You suddenly remembered an early episode, right? As I said, right? That one. How to control the killer inside yourself. I said that already. I didn't pick it. I didn't scroll it. No. It cawed me. Like the name was written on the inside of its teeth. Yes, you guys. I felt that. Listen to me, you guys. I looked in the mirror again. I saw those red eyes again. Like, it was under my eyes. Not like red eyes. Like, no. My eyes, just under my eyes, it looked red underneath it. Okay? Again, a little eerie, right? But that's the thing. The prince tends to do that sometimes. Okay? I felt that. That's where I felt the presence. Okay? The shadow that stands at an angle where a human face shouldn't be. Niccolò. The prince. Not a historical figure. No. Not just from the 48 Laws of Power. No. The archetype that lives in every man who learned to see the world the way a surgeon sees tissue. Without panic. Without noise. With precise intention. Okay? This is what the prince said, as I remember, right? From that story. These words came into my antenna. That is power. When I listened to that podcast, you guys. It didn't sound like a compliment, you guys. It was more like recognition. The prince is a man of very few words. I've learned that. He is. He doesn't say a lot. I have definitely reached out to Joe Liverman too, but you guys listen to me. The prince and Joe, two very different people, right? Joe, super humble, super cool, super awesome, great guy, will always support you no matter what. The prince, very few words. Very few words, very little words. When he speaks, you listen, okay? You fucking listen. Anyways, this leads to the birth of Shadow Mentor. Most people would have shrugged that moment off. You didn't, okay? Something in you split, not broken, but duplicated. I'm speaking to you, the listener, so listen to me. When I went to my other profile now, speaking about Adam now, my main profile still existed, okay? But the second one started forming like the silhouette of stepping out of my back. My shadow self, okay? A version of myself without sunlight. Without eyes, because he didn't need them. This wasn't some alter ego, okay? No, don't misinterpret. I decided to create this picture, you guys. I created it myself. I created it with a little bit of nifty effects on my face. And then my profile was born. Shadow Mentor 77. You can find it. Sometimes I'll post with that profile. Anyways, the one with no eyes who collects. Shadow Mentor, the one with no eyes who collects. Not intended to be evil, okay? Just the part of myself that stopped caring about human pacing and started responding to only intention, dominance, and truth. Now, the side of myself that sees a goal, calculates what's required, and moves without waiting for emotional permission, okay? Cold nudging on the inside of the ribs, right? A tightening at the base of my spine. That is the same place instincts lives, okay? The killer that isn't about killing. After this, you guys are going to get to the ceremony, okay? So keep listening. Something clicked the moment that day when I was lifting, right? Doing leg day, right? Or even going back to that time where I found my Killer Instinct podcast, right? It wasn't really about violence per se. It was about removing hesitation with surgical precision, okay? Most men think their darkness is the part that destroys them. But in reality, it's the part they've been trained to suppress. The part that knows when to strike, when to stop caring, when to walk away without flinching, when to take what's already aligned, when to shut off emotional noise, when to move like fate, not fear. That day, I understood this. I wasn't summoning a demon. I was summoning the version of myself who doesn't negotiate with his own fucking potential, right? The killer inside myself, you guys. The killer of hesitation. That's it, right there. You kill your fucking hesitation. Guys, listen to me. Keep listening. I'm about to get to the ceremony very soon. Okay. The ceremony that followed, right? That night is what gave birth to my Shadow Ethos ceremony when I made that profile, right? Shadow Mentor 77. Go follow that profile, you guys. Anyways, because you once felt the Prince whisper behind me, right? Once I sensed the no-eyed collector watching my decisions, you don't go back to thinking like a civilian. You start moving like a man in possession of his will, his presence, his shadow, and his right to take what's already his. That's what that episode is about, you guys. Or that's what this episode is about. So listen to me, you guys. Really, here's how that whole story of that profile and how it was created. I made a picture that I thought was gnarly, freaky, and I posted it on Facebook too. Yes, I do have a Facebook. Guys, listen to me. That profile, I don't want anyone from my podcast going to, okay? I just don't. All right? I'm going to request that you don't find me on Facebook. But anyways, someone commented on that picture and said, dude, you scared the literal fuck out of me. I'm being serious, okay? Was the reaction I got from this guy who's, honestly, he's a pretty fucking masculine dude. Because I know him to be a good guy right there, yeah. And to be clear, you guys, most men definitely saw that picture and they said, yo, that's freaky. Anyways, that aside, you guys, you will see that picture on my second IG profile. Anyways, let's get to the ceremony, okay? The killer of hesitation. No blood, no violence, pure psyche and frame sovereignty. The killer of hesitation, okay? This is Shadow Ethos Ignition. The laws of influence are internal authority, frame sovereignty, subconscious imprint, and implied command. So let's keep fucking going. Now listen to me, you guys. You will want to have a black candle, okay? Use a black candle. Or even use a mirror. So a mirror, a black candle, and also From Cradle to Enslave, right? About to play in the background. So, your posture, tall. Chin slightly down and eyes half lidded. Always perform ceremonies with your eyes half lidded. Anyways, just think of like I know something you don't, right? In your eyes, okay? Now, we get to the descent. Close your eyes for 3 breaths. One more breath. Call the Shadow Mentor now. Call the Shadow Mentor. No eyes, collector. Shadow that walks with me, rise. This isn't summoning a demon. It's summoning the version of you who already survived every imaginary death you fear. Or even, like, depression, for example. So let's say you survived depression. Think of that, okay? Now, we're gonna get to the black candle part, okay? Light the black candle. Guys, listen to me. If you don't have a black candle, that's fine. No worries. Just imagine it in your mind, okay? Now, visualize the flame. Cold, blue, white, razor thin. This is your killer frequency. The intention sharper than emotion. Presence without noise, okay? Now, the mirror lock. Look into the mirror. I want you to say this. Show me the man who takes what is already his. Squint, eyes half lidded. Let your jaw relax into predatory neutrality. Just breathe slow, silent, and territorial. The claim. Now, the line you say to seal this ceremony. I am not here to ask, I'm here to move. And when I move, reality adjusts to me. Head tilts slightly. Smirk. Predatory humor. Oh yeah, hesitation dies right here. And you are going to see that I take what's mine, always. Now, shadow integration, okay? Close your eyes. Feel a line run from your spine down into the floor, a grounding cord of cold certainty. Cold certainty, cold masculine certainty. Then one thought. Take. That single word is the command, implied command, as you heard. Not to hurt, but to claim, to dominate. Now, let's keep moving forward, you guys. This is part 6, you guys, of this podcast. Yes. Or I should say part 5. No worries. Let's go. Integration. Real world application. So, most men think shadow work ends in the ritual. Not true. Shadow ethos only matters if it bleeds into your daily behavior, your decisions, your posture, your eye contact, even the way you walk, the way you enter a room, the way you move your body when you want something. So here's how you integrate this, okay? Decision making, you want to kill the stutter, okay? I think I'll do this, or maybe I'll do that. I'm not sure, but, what should I do here? What do I think I should do? Yeah. See what I mean? Like, that just screams indecisiveness, okay? Masculine energy is decisive. Never fucking forget that, okay? When you're indecisive, yeah, that's feminine. Girls are indecisive. Anyways. When I say kill the stutter, here's what I mean. Don't stutter away your existence. Just act, move your body, okay? Shadow ethos doesn't talk like that, right? You make decisions like a blade coming down, not a balloon floating around the ceiling. If you want something, choose it. If you don't, close the door. No half-open frames, no maybe energy, no porous boundaries, you guys. Listen to me. Don't have porous boundaries. I talk about writing down your boundaries in my hardcover book. Anyhow, not going to get to that right now. Just know that porous boundaries are not good. But anyhow, when you start operating like this, people adjust around you. Not because you force them, but because your clarity removes their ambiguity. Now, second point here is presence. You slow down to dominate. Fast men look frantic. Slow men look inevitable. Shadow ethos is precision at its own pace, not urgency. Okay? Walk slower. Gesture less. Let silence do the talking. Or I should say, do half the talking. Predatory calm is the signal, okay? Women can sense it, you guys. Men definitely respect it too, okay? Opportunities gravitate toward it. When you slow your presence, you force the environment to sync to your tempo. This is frame sovereignty in action, okay? Voice. Sharpen the edges. Don't talk like you're asking for space. Talk like you're already standing in it. Lower your tone, like how you hear my voice, right? Remove some of the filler words, okay? Pause with confidence. Pauses can be powerful, you guys. As you can hear, I can pause randomly, and then I get to my second point, right? Let your sentences land like weight hitting the ground, okay? Shadow ethos doesn't raise his voice. He compresses it, all right? You project dominance. You radiate it. Guys, there's a difference between, like, speaking from your chest and, like, yelling. There's a big difference. Anyways, women. You need to know this about women, you guys. When you are about to converse with them, no apology, no pursuit, no neediness. The shadow ethos flips the entire dating script. You don't chase anything. You perform. You don't even explain yourself to anyone. You create a gravitational pull. When you want her, you show it with unfiltered desire. Not validation seeking, not approval energy. Nope. That's why women react differently around men with their shadow ethos online. They feel the calm. They feel the certainty. They feel the lack of desperation. They feel the predatory stillness. This awakens her feminine instinct. Alright, business. Move like you're already chosen. Shadow ethos in business is simple. Act like your offer is the obvious solution. Act like the room already decided. Act like the outcome is already leaning in your direction. This shifts how you negotiate, how you message people, how you show up online, how you talk to your audience, right? People follow certainty, okay? People invest in conviction, okay? People trust a man who acts like his success is a natural phenomenon, okay? Now, identity, unapologetic masculine self, okay? Shadow ethos integration is ultimately identity level. You stop trying to be the good guy. You stop bending. You stop watering yourself down to be digestible. You become the man who knows himself, trusts himself, moves before the world gives permission, radiates calm threat energy. Guys, listen to me. That doesn't mean you start looking for fights, so don't misinterpret me, okay? Shadow ethos is not a persona. No. It's the return to the version of you before you were trained to fear from your own power, okay? You should not fear your power, you guys. Your power is very important. Know your power. I talk about that consistently throughout my podcast library. Let's go. Before you walk away from this podcast, listen very carefully right now. You didn't summon a monster tonight. You didn't summon a demon either. You didn't awaken chaos. You didn't unleash something you can't control. No. You awakened the part of you that was tired of waiting, okay? So, those of you guys think that this is a persona? No, not the case, okay? You're simply awakening your dark side. Enough said. Every man has a dark side. You, the listener, you have a dark side. Don't fucking run from it. When you run from it, you're avoiding your darker states, and you shouldn't do that. Anyhow, the part that doesn't check the temperature of the room, right? Heat sets it. That's the part that you have awoken. From here forward, you don't move like the man who's seeking permission. You move like a man reclaiming what's already aligned to him, okay? Don't get sentimental about it, you guys. Killers aren't emotional, they're efficient, okay? Now, when I say killer, I don't mean like a fucking sociopath. Don't misinterpret. That aside, you guys, if the world feels different after this, it's because you're different. You're walking with the shadow ethos online now, okay? Move like inevitability. Let the world adjust. I'll see you on the next ceremony, you guys, but I'm going to let you know right now. Please leave me a 5-star review. And I know this is a bit of a darker podcast. Just know this right now. I want to see some written reviews now, because a lot of you are leaving me positive reviews, or like I should say, no, you're rating my podcast, that's what I meant, but you're not leaving me worded reviews. So leave me a worded review, okay, on my podcast. I would appreciate it. I love you. Guys, listen to me. Do this ceremony. Close your eyes and visualize that fire if you don't have a candle. All good, no worries. Peace out, you guys. I love you.